Hello, everyone out there in Speed Gaming 2 land, and thank you so much for tuning in to another exciting Worlds Collide race. This is a Poltergeist's Fury flag set from our Warring Triads event, and we have two fantastic runners for you today in our semifinals event. We have Team Doomgaze, headed by Tybalt2010, and LunarChimera representing Team Valiant. And this is going to be a very, very exciting match, especially because in about an hour on the FF6 Worlds Collide channel, we'll have another match for you. Same division. This is our Eastern division. Two different runners, though. That'll be Overswarm 1 versus Honey. So that'll also be a fantastic event to watch. But for now, let's take a look at what we've got in front of us. And before I do that, I suppose we should do some introductions. My name is Gar. I'm joined in the commentary booth by Scarcerer. What's going on? How are you, sir?
I'm excited. I'm ready for a 20 encounter Curse Shield. I'm ready to see Tybalt do things I know he's going to do. I'm excited to see LunarChimera for the first time.
Yeah, LunarChimera has been around for a little while now. I've been watching them play for, I think basically ever since I joined the community. Oh gosh, when was that? 2022? Has it been that long? My goodness. But Tybalt, I know from the FE community, and definitely makes waves over there. Scar, you said earlier that he has a reputation for being a bit of a gambler. And so I really hope that that's going to translate well to Worlds Collide here. Hopefully we get to see some really exciting plays. So, Scar, tell me a little bit about the flag set that we're going to be running today. What do our runners have to expect?
Well, we've got check scaling. So every time they take a check, the enemies get a little tougher. You have to get 7 characters and 9 espers to unlock the final battle against Kefka. And there's a bit of a variable KT skip bit of the walking in Kefka's tower. This seed it rolled 10 characters, 13 espers, or 21 checks, which I think the checks is probably most doable.
Yeah, 21 checks, not terrible at all. In our Ultras League flag sets, which are like our general racing flags, 21 is a requirement for a skip there, and a lot of runners wind up completing that as well. So since we have to do an extra tech check for Poltergeist anyway, it seems pretty likely that we'll get the 21 check skip here, but who knows, maybe not. A zoom in flag set. Locke, Sabin, and Mog for our starting members. Tybalt, taking a very, very quick look at the party. I did not see the abilities. It's way too fast.
I saw Locke had Capture, somebody had Steal, and somebody else had Natural Magic.
Capture and Steal, not the best starting abilities. Ideally, you would want something with a little bit of higher power. Throw is always nice, but something like Sword Tech, Blitz maybe, if you can hit them, always really good abilities to see. So hopefully we find some good items to kind of make up for it. So both runners here, starting in World of Balance, Narsh. And, LunarChimera seeing a snow muffler for sale in that armor shop, in addition to a red cap and some other goodies. So may want to make a note of that and come back later. I didn't take a look if they looked and saw who could equip a snow muffler, but Mog can by default. So at the very least, he'll have one party member that will be very, very cozy.
Hero Rings also for sale World of Balance, Narsh. Some very a big power spike if our runners can swing the cash.
Yeah, hero rings increase both your physical and magical damage by 25%. There are other relics that'll do the same thing. You've got the Atlas Armlet, which will increase your physical, and you've got your earrings, which will increase your magical. But having them both on the same relic is very nice, but you do have to pay a premium for that. So Tybalt, taking a look at the monster in a box in Narsh, sees it's a Telstar, does not care to get the green beret, at least this time. So just resets out of it. And LunarChimera, not to be outdone, follows in Tybalt's footsteps there. So one of the things that you might be noticing is that NPCs are disappearing. That is one of the unique things about the Poltergeist flag set in particular, is that we have a Y remove flag. And what that does is that if you go up to an NPC and press Y, they get deleted. And the trick is that there are a lot of things in this game that are considered NPCs that probably shouldn't be. So for example, in World of Ruin Narsh, there is a locked door, actually several locked doors, and one of them will lead you to one of Locke's checks. Ooh. Illumina fixed dice right next to each other? Sorry, I'm getting off topic. My goodness, that is one heck of a find there for Tybalt. LunarChimera has skipped it, so does not have that Illumina. And Locke can actually equip it, so... My goodness, what a find. Gosh, where was I? Y remove. You can Y remove into Locke checks. There is a free one in the World of Ruin Narsh, because the locked door is apparently considered an NPC by the game, so... Good times.
Yeah, it's very fun that we've figured out ways to abuse the clever programming of yesteryear.
Oh, no doubt. This game was very, very cool. It still is very, very cool, otherwise I wouldn't play it. But its coding left a lot to be desired. If you've ever used Sketch and had your game freak out, blame a coder.
I think I'd blame the publisher. Everything can be explained as, they didn't have time to fix this. Or didn't have time to test for it, or, I always blame the publisher.
Well. I mean, I could blame the publisher, too. I don't even know who the publisher of this game was. Or, like, the executive publisher,
I don't know.
Probably
Nintendo.
Yeah, but, like, there's a guy there, or a lady who does that, right? So...
yeah, one person who set the deadline.
Yep. And if they're anything like the producers I've ever interacted with, the deadlines are always unrealistic, but... What are you gonna do? So anyways, Illumina, fixed dice.
It's time to fight things.
Well... all right, so one fantastic weapon and one weapon which you can use and it will do damage sometimes. I used to be like really, really on board with the fixed dice train, but not so much nowadays.
I mean, if it was the only option, then I'd love it. But yeah, the Illumina, so much better. I think the next best play for our runners to make would be to just give Locke that Illumina. Well, assuming LunarChimera doubles back for returners, which I hope he does. It'll bring the race a little closer. If somebody throws that Illumina on Locke and throws Locke into the Coliseum, get their Dragoon objective done.
And this is your restreamer popping in just to tell you that the producer for Final Fantasy IV was Masafuma Miyamoto, who is actually the founder of Square.
Well, that guy's a loser. And you can tell him I said that, but he won't understand, maybe. And he's not a loser. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I'm very aggressive.
I'm sure he'll know you mean well.
I'm sure that he'll never, ever find this at all. So speaking of fixed dice, we do find more in, what is that, World of Ruin, South Figaro. So if we are so inclined, we can get our dice a-going. And like you mentioned earlier, Scar, there's a Dragoon set waiting as soon as we do the Coliseum. So if Mog can equip those fixed dice, then we could potentially have a dice jumper, which is a little bit more exciting than just throwing the dice, but not by too much, if I'm honest. The good thing about Mog, though, is that Mog can equip every spear in the game. So if you just want to make him a traditional Dragoon, that is a totally fine, valid thing to do.
How long does it take? Is it ATB based? How long it takes to come back down? Is it a set amount of time? It feels like forever.
It's based on your ATB. So basically, once you jump, you have to wait basically 2 full turns before you come down. So like you jump, and then you wait a turn, and then at the end of your second turn, you come down. And that's why the speed stat, if you can find that on an Esper, it's so good to put. It's so good to put on a jumper. That and a haste status.
Well, our runners can get haste status by going and beating the brakes off of 4 dragons, which in this flag set will also give them auto safe, right?
That's true. So it looks like the ability that I missed earlier was Magitech. Magitech is a great ability. Unfortunately, it's stapled to Sabin, who does not have the best magic power. Still, it's better than anything else that Sabin could possibly do. So the elemental beams are basically like your tier 2 versions of the elements. And Heal Force is actually like a very surprisingly good spell. Basically, a single target cure 2.5 that goes through Reflect. Very, very, very handy.
I noticed that Mog got Muddle from Natural Magic, which is useful if either of our runners goes diving into monster boxes, because Katana Soul is vulnerable to that.
Yep. And we do have that fixed dice, so if and we can buy more, so if we wanted to, we could do the offering fixed dice strategy, which is a pretty decent way to crank out the damage. So that'll be interesting to see if we ever find it. We do have Sabin, who has a very large quantity of monsters in a box that we can take a look at. So, and question in the chat: what about Deer Force? Deer Force, love me some Super Metroid.
17. Oof.
That's a little rough. 17 is usually a little more than I would like to do, but it's not as bad as you might think, because in Poltergeist flag sets, in Poltergeist seeds, the dead check rewards, or the rewards that don't give you an Esper or a character, they are high tier relics instead, so you can get offerings that way. You can get an economizer that way. So economizer Ultima is one of the best ways to get through a seed. So if you're desperate and you really just have nothing else going on, yeah, there's not a lot of issue just putting the curse shield on somebody and letting it go, especially for Tybalt, because he's got that Illumina. He'll be able to clear through basically whatever the seed has to throw at him.
Yeah, and I saw in his equip menu, when he was putting a weapon on Mog, Mog is also able to equip Illuminus in this seed. Is that Cyan at Collapsing House?
I didn't see who was holding up the house. I was looking at the thief. So we'll see who is actually there at the house here in just a moment. But it looks like Tybalt is going to go ahead and purchase whatever the thief has for sale.
Yeah, it was less than 20k. I don't know if you peeked it in World of Balance. LunarChimera did and saw that it was in fact an Esper. So this will be a glowing stone for Tybalt.
We get Tritalk, has Mute and Fire 2. Mute is a very handy spell. A couple of the dragons are vulnerable to being muted. And more importantly, magic on tier 2 is vulnerable to being muted. So, and Yaskar, you are correct. It is Cyan, being a big, strong man holding up this entire house.
He's got some very good checks, Cyan, and if he rolls a physical ability, can be okay, right?
Oh yeah, if Cyan has like natural sword tech or throw or anything like that, or if he can equip like a good weapon that we find later, then yeah, he'll be very useful. The problem with Cyan is that his vanilla equip pool is
garbage.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. So we're gonna rely on the additional 33% chance that any given character can equip an item that they normally wouldn't be able to. So monsters in a box here in the collapsing house, just not exactly what Tybalt is looking for, and I don't think LunarChimera is going to be any happier. Master P and Presenter. The Presenter is actually interesting because if you have like X Zone or something like that, you can potentially kill both parts of it and get 2 Dragon Claws and a good chunk of money too. But I don't think we have access to that yet, so I think we're really hoping for Giganta is probably like the big prize there, but even something like PM Stalkers would be a good like EXP boost.
Oh yeah, just something to get off the ground right away.
Yeah. But not a big deal. We do have Cyan's Imperial Camp Check, which lets us get the 4 fixed encounters. That was an X Magic Cyan, sorry, and I was looking at his dismal 22 magic power stat, so...
so it seems like he's not long for this party.
Well, it depends. Again, if we can find him a good sword, then he can stay in the party and he can whack things really hard. But that is not a guarantee by any means. So, Tybalt right now is going to take a grind fight outside of Zozo, so it looks like he's going to make a dragon play. These Mesosaurs are not terribly good encounters, especially because they like to run away. So hopefully that doesn't happen. LunarChimera says, hey, I am very, very happy taking care of the Presenter. Give me my Dragon Claw.
Do you still get magic points and XP if all of the enemies in a fight run away with this capability?
If all of them run away, no. You have to kill at least one to get whatever that enemy is capable of giving you. So this is a fantastic fight here. The Reach Frog, one of my favorite enemies, because I mean, just look at it. Look how fat it is.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy. So pretty decent experience. They also give you a good deal of money. So Tybalt might be done after this. May elect to go like one more. I know that if I were him, I would be totally happy just taking what I got and then getting the rest of my levels from this dragon that's up here. So.
So our runners do have Cyan and are able to normally access the check, but this is a check that you can access without Cyan using the wire move, right?
That's right. And it's actually a little faster to do that, since normally you have to go and talk to the merchant in Zozo, buy the WD-40 to get the door unstuck. But again, because the locked door on Zozo is considered an NPC, you can Y remove it and then just walk through. And it seems like Tybalt knows exactly that, so... But yeah, I like Tybalt's chances here. That encounter, the Gekarex Reach Frog, that got him to level 13. in combination with the other Mesosaurs. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mesosaurus.
So the most important thing is that you want to get off of level 3, just because you are so incredibly weak. But we have fixed ice, we have an Illumina, we have the capability of going and getting a Dragoon set, which is what LunarChimera is doing out here. Ooh, lots of juicy stuff there. I saw Economizer for, what is that, an X-Ether, so a little pricey. It has to fight a Gila Mantis, which has a pretty high physical attack stat.
This is risky.
But he should be fine.
Oh yeah, that's okay damage, and missing is always helpful.
Yeah, so this should kill the Gila Mantis here, and it does. And hey, look at that, Economizer. So now decursing that shield is very, very nice. Tybalt finds the Bahamut Esper, which is also very, very nice because the multi-summon flag is enabled. So you can, if you really wanted to, spam Bahamut the rest of the seed, and Bahamut does real damage.
You know, find Bahamut, spam Bahamut is a good strategy in multiple Final Fantasy randomizers.
That's true. Maybe not for this particular seed. Just well, for LunarChimera, it's more of an option because he doesn't have that Illumina fixed ice.
Did anybody roll good magic that we've seen so far?
I don't know, and at this point, I don't think it matters all that much. This is a rude one. Now, Bolt Dragon, one of the ones that you really don't want to see early. It's got a ton of HP. It likes to spam Bolt, and rumor has it that he committed insurance fraud back in 2014.
Only in 2014? He looks like someone that would commit insurance fraud every year.
2014 is the most egregious example, I think, and we all know what happened in 2014, right?
Of course.
So, should go down I was gonna say relatively soon, but maybe not. So, Locke with the proc. He might do it here.
Here's a big question that I find myself asking a lot. Did Tybalt save? Oh, he's through. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's through. That was rough, and that's why we hate Gold Dragon. There's an offering for LunarChimera. Was in battle with that Cruller for a little while.
Yeah, Kruller's got. Is it good magic? They have one good defense, right? All those enemies that look like with that spray.
Well, no, it's only one of them, and I don't think it's the Cruller. I think it's the Inuo, E-N-U-O.
Oh, the no.
Yeah. If you know, you know. All right, so Tybalt heading over to Imperial Camp. Unfortunately, didn't get the levels on anybody except for Locke, so I think this is a pretty decent pivot. Go ahead and get your levels on the rest of your party. And LunarChimera is going to try their hand at getting some levels for their party. And hopefully they have a little bit better luck, but I am not convinced.
Yeah, we haven't seen any sort of elemental resistance or absorption other than snow mufflers for sale, right?
That's all that we've got.
And that does not help with lightning.
No, it does not. Now, these pugs, you can steal Minervas from them, and as long as people can equip them, then that's a great find. Plus, Locke has Capture, and Mog has Steal. So, in theory, we could be here and just steal a bunch of Minervas if we are so inclined. And I would be so inclined. I'd try and go for at least one. I think I'd be happier with two. Unfortunately, that proc is going to kill that one pug. Hey, we got one. Now, they can still drop one. They have each pug has a 1 in 8 chance of dropping a Minerva. So we only walk away with one, but hey, one is pretty good.
It's more than I usually get from that box.
Yeah. I did get 3 from drops, which was it made me very happy, kind of. If the seed that I ran weren't quite so bad, well, it would be better.
Hitting 1 in like 600 wasn't enough.
1 in 8 cubed, whatever that is. So
yeah, I think it's like 500 something. I think it's like 512.
Oh no, I think it's bigger than that.
Well, it's 64. No, it's 512. It's 64 times 8.
No, it's 8 times 8 times 8.
Yeah, which is 64 times 8.
1 over that number.
Yeah.
Oh, it is 64 times 8. Yeah, you're right. I can't do math. Yeah, 1 over 512. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for putting me in check. I was about to go wild. I was going to say 1 in 17,408,000.
I don't think there's really anything with that low of odds in this.
I'll find something. Okay, so LunarChimera gets through their Bolt Dragon fights. Okay. Tybalt is wrapping up the Imperial camp here. This is the last fight that he has to do. And unfortunately, the fights here were just not very good.
No, but it looks like they weren't difficult either, so progress towards the curse shield at a minimum.
Yeah, I don't hate it. And unfortunately, just spitting up a dragon horn, so not the most exciting of potential finds there, especially because an EXP egg would be super good for Tybalt right now. But alas.
Ooh, Phantom Train time. I'm gonna peek that.
Got a question from the chat. How many battles to uncurse the shield in these settings? For this particular seed, it is 17 in general. It takes between, 13 and 20? 11 and 20?
It's 11 and 20.
Thank you. I didn't quite see. It looks like that was the Bismarck Esper. Teacher's Merton, which is maybe the best spell in the game, as long as you can cast it. Oh, it's my favorite too. So as long as you can cast it, then it is super cool.
Yeah, Merton was retranslated as Meltdown in later games, right? I remember it was one of the things that didn't get absolutely butchered by retranslation.
Yes, I believe that it's called Meltdown. Well, let's see. The GBA version, I think, still calls it Merton. I have not played the Pixel remaster yet. I want to say that it's still Merton there too, but I think in later games, this spell would later be called Meltdown.
Yeah, but we still love Merton.
Yeah, so I think the Japanese was supposed to be like Meruton. So it's like, Merton or Melton maybe. But Meltdown is what it became eventually, but Meltdown apparently in Japanese is Merutodown. But
And
oh, hey, a red jacket.
speaking of meltdowns,
That'll help.
LunarChimera having a trouble in the tunnel armor cave with that Haydn. Got an Esper for his troubles though, so at least there's progress.
Yeah, Haydn's always nasty.
Is Haydn hittable with instant death? Because it's an undead enemy when undead bosses are left as undead, right?
I do not actually believe that Haydn is undead. You can't doom it. You can't cast quarter on it. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be undead, but it doesn't really act like it. So. This is a rough fight too. Guardian is a very, very thick boss, has a lot of HP.
We have Bolt Beam though.
We have Bolt Beam. Bolt Beam is great. And LunarChimera, meanwhile, finds Atma Weapon, which is a little softer than Guardian and tends to play a little nicer as well. Tybalt. Oh no. And he's just gonna keep on going. LunarChimera should be done with Atma Weapon here momentarily.
You can steal a ribbon from Atma Weapon, right?
You can steal an elixir from Atma Weapon. Maybe a ribbon is the rare steal, but that I do not remember. I do know that that an elixir is the common steal.
Well, an elixir is what LunarChimera got.
I'm sure they're not upset about it. Elixirs are very, very nice.
Yeah, especially if you sell everything you find in the opening loot and then realize, oh, I have no healing.
Oh, how many times have I done that? Tybalt, unfortunately, looks like he got entwined, so has the slow status on him, and he is the only party member alive. He may wind up getting through this fight just based on the power of Illumina alone, and I don't know how he's taking 0 damage from the diffuser there.
Minerva.
Oh, that's right, they got a Minerva.
Lucky that him being able to wear that is probably what's getting him through this fight.
Yeah. So as long as this level 4 flare doesn't connect. And it does not. Okay, opting to use the X-Ether to rejuvenate his MP and get that MP crit going. Rage! I think this also will do... Oh, yeah, it's rough. That's very, very rough.
I think his save was before the train. I saw him save before the train because he was peeking it. I didn't see him save.
Oh, and he just walks out.
Well, he knows it's an Esper there, and he knows he can come back for it later. It is unfortunate that he lost the time there, but I agree with him leaving it alone. It's not some difference making. It's not character.
Well, you still...
Oh, it was Meltdown. It was Merton, wasn't it?
It was Merton. Which
okay, then I'd be going back for it, but
he can't cast it yet, so it's not terribly urgent. But because Merton has a ×1 learn rate, you do kind of want to at least learn it in anticipation of being able to use it later. Unfortunately, Tybalt losing a fair chunk of time there. So, and LunarChimera looks like they stole one Minerva and didn't get any drops or anything at all, really. So,
Oh, no Espers equipped for the magic points, unfortunately.
yeah, and they're at 5 Espers, and Tybalt, meanwhile, finds Terra.
Hey,
Wow,
there's a character.
that's pretty good.
A lot of boxes to maybe spike another nice shiny stick at the sealed cave.
Oh, a shock Terra too. My goodness. Yeah, welcome
Game's
aboard.
over. My scion.
Yeah.
The what of who?
Honestly, I would have really liked to see Tybalt go back and do Ghost Train there, but I get it. Like this treasure house is has a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's likely that Tybalt's just not going back for that train at all.
Which would be a little unfortunate. There's a red jacket there, and that would constitute a piece of Merton protection. So, and unfortunately, that promise is kind of wasted. Nothing really there. You got a Behemoth suit, which is a wonderful pile of stats, but not much in the way of anything else.
Also a Merit Award, so he could shop around that Illumina if he is pressed come the end of the game.
Yeah, I don't see really any value to that at this juncture. Just because Sabin really doesn't have anything else. Wait, is it Sabin? No, it's not Sabin. Locke doesn't really have anything else going on. Although, I mean,
Yeah.
Sabin doesn't either for that matter. But
And we also got another vanilla equipper of the Illumina in Terra.
yeah. But who knows? Maybe Tybalt winds up going to the Colosseum later on in the seed, finds something that LunarChimera didn't, namely Illuminas for the something silly, and then goes in and trades them in. So LC gonna get their Terra here momentarily. Momentarily. Get it?
Oh, good lord.
You're all welcome, chat. And actually, this does dovetail nicely with Mog checks, since now we can go and get the Whelk Cave and then whatever we left behind at the Whelk Cave, and I have already forgotten
It was
what
Marvel
that is.
Shoes.
Marvel Shoes? And
You
hey,
pick
an egg!
I mean, oh, egg. We love egg. I mean, you would, if you do Whelk, you pick it up even if it's something garbage, right? Because it's progress towards skip.
I would say so. I mean, Mobile Shoes, at the worst case, it's about $12,000. So, and yeah, as expected, that egg is going directly on lock. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. So we'll see what LC does here. So far, they've been following in Tybalt's footsteps for the most part. So we'll see if they opt to go to Sealed Gate Cave.
Yeah, I think LunarChimera has a few levels of an edge, and didn't have a wipe to rock their performance.
Right.
I know I'm always shaky after a wipe.
Yeah. Wipes, especially ones at the end of a longish check like Phantom Train, they can be pretty devastating. So now the thing is that Tybalt still has an Illumina, and it's really difficult to understate just how good the Illumina is.
It's the second best shield in the game.
Exactly. Okay, so it looks like at the moment, Tybalt and LC going to the same. Nope, never mind. Oh, that's right. LunarChimera already went here, and he already fought this. So, I don't expect any trouble from Atma Weapon. This is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. But Lunar gonna go ahead and do the entire Nurse suite. Hard to blame them at all. There's a ton of checks here that are pretty densely packed. Oh, but opting to go up first instead of just going into Terra checks. So I wonder if they forgot.
Did you spot who was hiding away in the Mara Cave?
I didn't see.
Realm.
I didn't see. Was it Realm?
Okay, it's time to find a Yeti. Get the best character in the game.
Not today.
You don't want Realm?
I don't want the Yeti. Wait, did you not just imply that the Yeti was the best character in the game, or were you saying that about
No,
him?
I was saying Realm is the best character in the game. Get the Yeti so you can get Realm.
That's true. Also, the Yeti offers up a snow muffler for free, which would be nice to see. But so far, neither hide nor hair of the Yeti. But we do get the
really
Siren Esper for LC. That is huge. Well, I think we already have Mute, so less huge, but still nice.
Siren means you don't have to worry about, did this character learn Mute? Did that character learn Mute? Siren is Mute.
Siren is Mute. Also, something that I learned fairly recently is that Mute has, I think it's a 1 in 255 chance to miss, or 1 in 256. Pokemon
Of course.
Gen 1 miss, yeah.
Of course there are spells that can Gen 1 miss.
I've had it happen exactly once, and it confused me. I'm like, didn't I mute this guy? And it was only later that I figured it out, so. So, nice choo-choo train here for LunarChimera. This one is undead.
No blitz, shame.
Well, yeah. Well, can't dock points because if you don't have blitz, then you can't suplex. So, no big deal there. Tybalt, meanwhile, while removing his way into Magitech facility, this is a very spicy play. I like it.
Bit of a gamble, might you say?
A bit of a gamble, I might say. Yeah.
Can you do Magitech 3 without Celis, or is it just 1 and 2?
Nope, you could do the entirety of it. The only thing that Celeste gives you normally is those 3 NPCs that block the way. They are gone when you recruit Celeste. So because Y remove is enabled here, you can just Y remove those NPCs, and from here you can do the entirety of Magitech. You can do something similar for Edgar checks, where you Y remove one of the NPCs there, and then you can do Figaro Castle Basement and the Ancient Castle. So, finds, I think this is Ultros 3, and yes. I am a little scared for our runners, and I'm scared for them because we have not seen anything super difficult yet. And normally, that means that later on in the seed you find the baddies. Speaking of baddies, how about Strago?
Bad checks, yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I meant.
I suppose once we get Ultima online, we could do Fnatic's Tower, but why?
Fnatic's Tower is long, but it is also 3 checks in one. It's 3 if you do the dragon.
Magic Power +2 on Unicorn from... Was that from MTech 1?
I think so. Wow. So, a phenomenal Esper. Magic Power is just so silly good in basically every context. Well, LunarChimera finds Kefka down here in the Moogle Cave. So, gonna win the seed here shortly. It was a great run by Tybalt. I am just kidding, of course. This is the wrong Kefka.
Yeah, this one runs away. He's a coward.
Yeah, just a little bit. Somewhat French vanilla. Normally, this is the Kefka that you find on the Narsh cliffs, so he's still in Narsh. I'd say, close enough.
Do either of the bosses on screen have any sort of appreciable magic defense?
No, and in fact, for Narapa is weak to Bolt, so Saban's Bolt being there does a bunch of damage. Narapa is not weak to fire, as much as she looks like an enemy that might be weak to fire. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I tried to use fire on her, and it healed her.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was asking because Tybalt's shock was doing about 600 more damage than LunarChimera's.
Yeah, so not 100% sure of either party's level, so there we go. So mid-20s, early 30s for Tybalt.
And about the same for LunarChimera, it looks like.
Okay, maybe some gear differences.
Phantom has Merton.
Bismarck had Merton as well, and Bismarck was the one that was on the Phantom train, so...
Yeah, so Tybalt not actually missing out on that. Because he...
Yeah, and that's huge, because Merton, again, best spell in the game, if you can cast it. And I think both of our runners are close to it, right? Wait.
Well, there's only... Oh, here's a bad boss. Here's a rough man.
Yeah, did we decurse the shield on LunarChimera's side? Like, I don't see anybody with Condemned, but I also am not convinced that we did 17 fights already. Maybe we did.
Maybe he gave up on it.
That's unfortunate, because he's got an economizer in tow. So that, oh, well, no, what are you doing? The path to victory is right there.
Unfortunate. Hopefully he can make it through without. He has neither of the sources of Merton, so probably doesn't even have the elemental absorption on his mind.
Yeah, and chat confirming that he never even equipped it. He does have Econ Bahamut, which is fine.
But only one character can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And down goes Rexel. Pretty nasty boss for any party to see. One of my least favorites. And then Toilet Atma. Toilet Atma also not exactly what I would want to see. And this is one of those fights where the Illumina is potentially a detriment. It depends on if it procs.
Just a Genji glove from the Welk check.
The Genji glove, and then the Marvel shoes. And then it looks like we are Just gonna walk it out.
And it looks like Tybalt is playing it risky, swinging away with that Illumina, knowing that there's a significant chance it bites him in the butt.
Like it did right here, because this is probably gonna do about max HP, or heal him about max HP. Well, maybe not. It did out heal the damage that he just did with it. So unfortunate.
Is there a reward for defeating Atma in vanilla?
Other than getting another save point, I don't think so. So down goes Toilet Atma for Tybalt. Unfortunately, Saban and Mog taking a little bit of a nap, not going to get the experience there. LunarChimera going to get their EXP egg. But they're going to be kicking themselves after getting it too, because they could have came here like a lot earlier. But sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Tybalt, remembering he doesn't need to heal there. You get a free heal before this fight.
Oh no! Do we have Berserk? We have Shock and we have Flare. So not the worst thing. Can possibly get through this. Unfortunately, he is not vulnerable to mute. And this Pearl might do nothing, might actually heal him. Oh, wow! The random Pearl proc, and he was actually weak to it. And down he goes. Wow. No muss, no fuss.
I'm shaking my head. This is ridiculous.
Tybalt. Illumina. Coming in handy. All right, so both of our runners fairly evenly matched here. We have Tybalt going to go get a Genji glove here. May opt to go and actually do the top of Narsh. I don't think that LunarChimera did that, so we'll get some new information there. And then if Tybalt winds up doing Moogle defense, going to get his Strago.
Our LunarChimera did do top of Narsh. There was a stone from Lone Wolf. Odin
you are 100% right. Yep, I don't know what I'm thinking. I must be out of my mind.
It's been a long day.
I was in meetings all day, so yeah. All right, so looks like LC is going to try their hand at the Magitech Factory. We know that it is, what was that, triple Esper?
I believe so. At least I know 1 and 3 were Espers. 1 is a Magic Power plus 2 Esper, 3 is Palador.
Yep. So it's just a question of where are we going to get our last character? And with the way that Worlds Collide works, normally your last character, or normally your next character is going to be, oh wow, that's a big find. Normally your next character is going to be where you found your previous character. So since LunarChimera found Strago, it is more likely than not that one of Strago's checks will lead to a character, which is
same
unfortunate.
Same could be said of Cyan too, right?
Possibly.
Because he wasn't a starting character.
I don't think either runner has done Dome of Dream, so
No, neither of them.
In this situation, I think I would be tempted to do at least a peek and see what the see who's hopping between the trains. But that might be a little premature.
Well, you can fully peek Fanatic's Tower, right?
You sure can. And that's probably like the best play. Just peek FT, and then if you don't see a character, go elsewhere. Ebbett's Rock is probably the shortest of all the three. Burning House in these sets of flags actually isn't bad as long as you get really nice, like high experience encounters in the house. So, not a whole lot going on here. These are just retreads of fights that we have seen before. And they are very, very simple fights at that. So, while we have a bit of a lull, if you are interested in getting to or going and playing the randomizer yourself, head on over to ff6worldscollide.com. There you will find everything that you could possibly need to begin playing the game, including a link to the wiki, which has a ton of helpful information, and a link to our Discord, which is full of wonderful, cool people like Scarciver, who would be very, very happy to help you with anything that you might need help with. So,
well, I don't know enough to not actually give wrong information, but Gar knows a lot of things. The only
I
thing
don't know
that knows
anything.
more than the only thing that knows more than Gar does is the wiki, and even that's impressive.
Thank you. It's very nice. But yeah, come on over. We would love to have you, and hopefully you find Final Fantasy VI and Randomizers interesting. I'm actually curious to see if LunarChimera does the entirety of Magitech here.
Oh yeah.
I would be tempted to warp out after this and do peekables. But I know that they would feel bad if they warped out and there were a character at the end of this. We know that there's not, but he doesn't know that, so.
So Tybalt, with that boss fight for Kefka and Nourish, dispelled the curse on his shield, so he can now start learning Ultima. He has the actual best shield in the game.
Yeah, Paladin Shield absorbs fire, ice bolt, and pearl, and then nullifies the other 4 elements. So just a phenomenal defensive piece of gear. And Narapa the Rapper there for LunarChimera. Dispatched very, very easily, no problem. Okay, and they're going to go through it, which means that they are going to have to deal with the Atma and Magimaster at the end of this.
They unfortunately don't have the Illumina to try and get lucky with, but Shock is a pretty good ability. Should get through that, yeah.
I certainly hope so. Also, LunarChimera has 2 Minervas, so in a little bit better shape like elementally defensive wise. I think LunarChimera is having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Oh, maybe it's our restream.
Yeah, everyone's slowing down.
Walking through the sludge.
Yeah, this may be also related to the audio issues we've been having. We're still trying to work on that.
You know, I think that's the first time I've seen a brake blade actually proc.
Alright, so I apologize about this, folks. Just bear with us for a little while here.
And it looks like we're back.
Well, now we're zooming.
At least LunarChimera is back.
Yeah, we were trying to get the audio sync, and I think it's just so far out of sync that when we tried to adjust the values, it started affecting other things.
You see, and this is why it's actual magic. When you make a computer mad, it's the end of the day, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, and this Atma is kind of giving LunarChimera the business here.
Yeah, open with Merton, it's got... And because Atma absorbs wind, it actually healed itself. Must have had something non-elemental to knock down the other Minerva wearer.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they equipped the Minerva on so Locke has it, but I don't know if they put it on Terra. Tybalt, meanwhile, dealing with the hide-on. The flashing Spell of Doom is just a landslide, so no big deal. This Pearl proc might actually put him away. And Lunar takes the wipe. That's very, very unfortunate.
Oh, that's super unfortunate, because if you save on, like, here, where they saved just now, do you have to, and that's your only save, do you have to get through to Perez?
You sure do.
He has another save if all else fails. But hopefully, hopefully it's a little nicer next time.
Just giving you a heads up, and we're going to try to do something to see if we can get the audio fixed, but it may cause one or both of the videos to disappear for a bit, so just hang tight with that.
The frames.
Thanks, Joker.
Well, while LunarChimera's feet it down, we can only assume that he is giving Atma the business, even though he wasn't there yet. But you know, we'll make some positive assumptions, some positive predictions.
I mean, I believe.
I believe as well.
I've seen them race. I know what they're capable of. Tybalt, meanwhile, looks like he's going up World of Ruin Narsh.
Grab the flame shield from... No, this isn't the way for Lone Wolf 2. Doing a dragon and Tritalk?
That's my guess. I'm not 100% sure what his plan is, though.
Yeah, I think his plan is teaching magic because he's checking his spells, looking where Merton is.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, this will increase his check count, so that'll put him closer to that 21 check skip.
He is at the requisite 9 espers. So this has to just be a power play, to round out the party a little bit. Everyone but Locke did miss out on some early XP. Ugh, I hate this guy.
This guy can be rude. He likes to open up with anywhere from 0 to 3 Pearl abilities. This time it was just a Scar Beam, so easy money. Down he goes.
Not a lot of HP. Wow.
No, White Dragon is very, very soft. Very similar to the Blue Dragon in that, doesn't have a lot of HP. Just very, very aggressive with the offense.
A gem box. That's worth some money, right?
Sure is. Give it to a pawn shop. Get quite a bit of money for it, as long as the gems are in good condition.
Yeah, somewhere around 30k if the cards play right.
Yeah, so it looks like that was exclusively a dragon play. So this dragon will give Tybalt 3, and then possible that he gets one more in the tower to get to 4.
As they have Mount Colts is still on the table, yeah.
Mount Colts does not have a dragon.
No, I was just mean for the last character. Sorry. Both the runners are at 6.
Yes, so Mount Colts is still neither runner has checked that yet, and neither runner has gone to any of Strago's checks yet. So no Fanatics Tower, no Ebbets Rock, no Burning House. LunarChimera, just really, really unfortunate here.
Well, if Atma keeps using abilities Locke doesn't get hit by while he's on the ground, it should be fine.
Well, it looks like it was Quake that dispatched a lot of the party members, and unfortunately, Atma gets healed by Quake.
I mean, if this Quake into Flare Star is a pattern, LunarChimera will get through. If it'll be a bit of a slog, though.
At this point, LunarChimera just has to hold A and pray. And so far, that strategy seems to be working. As long as we get some big dice rolls here.
I think Tybalt was taking dragons to spread Ultima around to be able to chase Fanatics Tower when he peeked it if it was a character. Just an Esper, but
Yeah, so does not have to do Fanatics Tower. Sure that he's reasonably happy about that. So now we're going to get the peek at Dream. I did say this a little while ago. I think what I do in his situation is you do this first part, and then if you don't see a character jumping between the train cars, you reset. Okay, so LunarChimera going to make the safety save, and now is going to get some bad news.
Can Magimaster cast Quake?
He cannot, no. So in his vanilla script, it's fire, ice, lightning, and I want to say that he can also cast Bio.
Bio kind of gross.
Bio, Mute, Doom, yeah. But it's primarily the elemental spells. So now
Looks like
there
he-
is a cool strat that you could do if you have access to Reflect, where you can put Reflect on Magimaster and then take advantage of his battle script that way. Because what he's programmed to do is cast spells on himself if he has the Reflect status, but because of how ability scaling works, a lot of the times he casts non-reflectable spells on himself.
Huh. I'll have to keep that in mind. Learn something new every day.
It's very, very, very spicy tech. LunarChimera really needs to reset here, I think. Yeah, so no character in Dome of Dream, but Tybalt gonna keep chugging anyway.
Yeah, he didn't throw a save outside, but if this ends up being... Was the first check an Esper?
First check was an Esper, yeah.
Well then, and so Dome of Dream 2 is a character or an Esper, right? It'll never be a dead item?
Correct. So because we saw that ghost jumping around, we know that it's going to be an Esper.
So if the throne has an Esper, that'll put Tybalt 1 Esper away from Skip. And if he's not quite there on the check count, he could angle for another Esper to get Skip, but I don't know where he would go to get it that's quick.
I'm not sure either. And so LunarChimera gonna reset out of 2 Espers there. Or I guess just yeah, no, it was 2 Espers. So should be sorry, should be heading somewhere else now. So he's in Thamasa. I wonder if this is just a YOLO Burning House play.
I, for one, would love to see that. You bounce your head, you bounce off something, you gotta go do something silly.
Well, and I think in general it's a good check. So we're probably looking at Strago checks to find our last character, and so again, as long as the encounters in Burning House give you a ton of experience, this actually could put LunarChimera in a pretty good spot. The unfortunate thing is that now they've got to make up 2 more Espers.
Yeah, just a dragon horn on the Dome of Throne.
And well, at least the A encounter here is it's not very good. Mobliz is also an option too. We have not seen this. Leet River is probably the last location for both of our runners. And then just a Whisper here. My goodness, these are just awful encounters.
Seraphim at Mobliz. That is not a character.
I'm just going to pop in real quick. Say, as you can tell, the audio is still not really in sync, and at this point, don't really want to mess with it any further in case I accidentally cause one of the streams to go down during something important. So I think we're just going to have to deal with it. Sorry.
Tonight the computers win.
Skynet's taking over, and it starts with desynced audio on a Twitch stream.
Besides, everyone came here to listen to you two, not the audio. They've heard the game audio. They want to hear you guys.
Oh, that is awfully generous of you, Joker. So, Tybalt, Abbott's Rock. This is probably Strago's shortest check, but it really depends on how nice the teleporters wind up being. And so far, they're being pretty nice. The goal here is to collect 22 pieces of coral. You get coral in amounts from 1, 2, 3, and 5. And in Worlds Collide, what we did was as soon as you have 22, I believe that it's an equal shot between going to the entrance, going to the save point room, and then going to the Hungry Chest room. And as it turns out, this is where Vargas went after the end of the world. Normally, you would find a hide-on here, so...
Definitely a bit of a easier time here. Is Shock's damage split?
It sure is. Shock is one of the few non-elemental magic spells that does not ignore magic defense. And Tybalt finds the Yeti. So that is going to be go mode. We'll see if he opts to do any additional checks for the skip. Because I know that he is very, very close to that 21. By 51 potions. I am not sure what he is going to do with the pots, but...
Lament his lack of sleeping bags, I guess.
I suppose.
Like, that's the only reason I would buy 51 potions.
I think at that point you buy tents. Spamming potions on your party members, like, it will get their health up there, but...
Oh, but with 5,000 HP on... Was that 5,000 HP on Terra?
Yeah. We're kind of big. Yeah, Chad. It's the math is almost right, but we do start with 3 characters, so you have to subtract 3. So we might be at 18, and I'm sure that we have gotten some dead checks along the way.
He has skip.
Oh, he does have skip. Okay, then again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, did not take the snow muffler off of the Yeti, which is a little unfortunate. The snow muffler is a very, very great piece of armor. LunarChimera wraps up with the cranes in the burning house, finds an Esper.
Is Snow Muffler the highest for physical defense? I've seen Yeti in the back row take 0 from a lot of things.
Yes. The Snow Muffler is the highest physically defensive piece of gear in the game. If you like, it is one of it might be the only piece of equipment that lets you hit 255 physical defense, which is enough to for any attack to deal 1 point of damage to you in the front row and 0 in the back. Tybalt finds Doom at the Doom spot. Who'd have thunk it? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that in our Warring Triads flag sets, the statue bosses of Doom, Poltergeist, and Goddess are not shuffled into the general boss pool as they are in others. They are simply supposed to be shuffled between their vanilla spots.
Yeah, so Sometimes shuffling between their vanilla spots means that they just, by random chance, happen to be in the same spots that they are in the vanilla game. So we'll see if that's the case here. So the leftmost statue is Doom, the rightmost statue is Goddess, and the one in the middle is Pulte. That's what we'll be looking for here. Does LunarChimera why remove this one? He does not. And gets punished by having to fight piranhas.
Gross. The cost of this battle is approximately 1 minute and 1/2 of your soul.
You know, every once in a while, you get the piranha fight where, like, it comes out almost immediately, and you feel real good. And this is not one of those times.
I am convinced that fast piranhas can only happen in practice.
And this wasn't awful.
No, that wasn't terrible.
Tybalt, meanwhile, dispatches Doom. Goes up against Goddess. Oh, the Goddess spot. So now he's going to punch Poltergeist.
This is a little unfortunate for Tybalt because his main damage dealer going down the Goddess lane is an Illumina.
Yeah, not
Hopefully
ideal.
Locke knows Ultima.
Oh, LunarChimera finds Celeste. That's big. And the Annihilation comes out because, as it turns out, Spicy Chicken, little spicy. Nashville hot. So Elsie, looking for an Esper here, is at 8 and 9, so we'll hopefully come away from this 9 and 9, but can go back into MTech 1 and kill one of the Ultroses there. Forget which one it is. I think it's actually Ultros 1.
It is Ultros 1.
But no need. Find Stray. So we are good to go for LunarChimera.
Love to see it.
The unfortunate thing is that Tybalt, I think, is just way far ahead in terms of the offense that is available to him, and the defense too. Decursing that Paladin shield really made a huge difference. So Elsie's going to try, do some dragons. Their levels are not where he wants them to be, so...
What would you say is the ideal lowish level for this? Is it like the mid-30s?
It kind of depends on how scaled up you are. And I'm not 100% sure how many checks LunarChimera has done. But I would say that if you, let's say you get more or less perfect routing and you get, you have unlock and you're at 15 checks, you can probably get away with being mid-30s here. But if you are at 18, 19 checks, yeah, you might as well go ahead and get to max scaling because you're just going to be more powerful.
And Tybalt is through Poltergeist.
The power of Ultima. You could do anything as long as the big blue bubble is on your side.
Wasn't it Napoleon that said God is on the side with the best artillery?
I am sure that Napoleon said that, but I can't confirm it because I think Napoleon's dead, and I think he's been dead for a while.
He's been dead for a long time of arsenic poisoning.
I'm pretty
I
sure it
suspect.
was. I'm pretty sure it was Abraham Lincoln in his address to the lunar colonies in the year 2110.
I do remember that speech. I helped write that. Umaro in the
I'll have to
Guardians,
listen to it 86 years from now.
bruh, just time travel.
I mean, Garth didn't specify when he wrote it.
So when is Umaru scary? I guess right now when he tackles you. Okay.
Yeah, right now because physical scaling abilities, yeah, they hurt right now.
Can Umaru get hyperdrive?
I don't think so.
Shame.
All of his abilities are ice based, so he can get like absolute zero.
Can he
Ice
get North
3.
Cross?
He cannot get North Cross.
Thank God.
Or I guess if he can, I haven't seen it. And LunarChimera kind of looking for something to kind of turn the tide here. Finds fire and pearl rods, which might do the trick. But is not interested. Gonna go elsewhere. All right, and back to the Coliseum we go. We are looking for something. An ammo
love
weapon.
token. Disgusting. Ammo weapon would be nice. Ooh, Imp Halberd for an ammo weapon.
Yeah, nah, that's big. And just an insect hair, so not a difficult fight at all. And Locke having to pivot to casting flare here. A little unfortunate, and
Luckily, there's no boss that isn't weak to nuke.
yeah. Unfortunately, nuke is not as good in this game as it is in Final Fantasy IV. I do think it is somewhat underrated, but yeah.
Definitely a bit of a long animation.
One of the longer ones for Black Magic. I think that the only one that is long, well, the only two that are longer are Ultima and Pearl. I might be wrong about that. I had a project going where I actually would count the animation frames that each spell took, and then I abandoned it.
Fair. That sounds like it would take a while. There's a lot of spells in this game.
Well, the issue is that on one target, it's pretty consistent. But if you cast, let's say you cast Fire 3 against multiple targets, well, there's like each subsequent cast of Fire 3 adds a little bit of extra lag. So it became like really, really tough to math out. And Flare gets the job done, so down goes Goddess. And that is the end of the statues for Tybalt. So LunarChimera, I think at this point, needs some really, really awful things to happen. And unfortunately is just not not having things go their way and buying that fixed ice that nobody can use.
That is unfortunate. and Tybalt is setting up by equipping Odin unlock. He doesn't need the bonuses from a Esper for the final battle, but casting Odin is a fairly accurate instant death effect. There are two enemies in the final battle which are weak to instant death like that. Right? Tools can be Odined?
Tools can be Odined, and then the long arm can be Odined. And those are your two instant deaths there. Now we do have mute, so magic is not a concern. And did we find any kind of calmness protection? I think I saw Phantom somewhere, so it's not ideal, but it'll do in a pinch.
We found Palador.
Palador is not calmness protection. Don't like if you hear anything else about that, it's the government. That's the government trying to tell you something.
Is that socialist Palador?
That is not what I was going for. Although really I couldn't tell you what I was going for, so sure, I don't know. All right. Tier 1.
Starting with an off-slot stone and it hits.
Yep. Good job, break. The head is weak to fire, so even like Saban's fire 2 will do some okay damage there. Okay, so that actually looks like the break missed. I guess I missed that the first time, but Odin hits, so Ultima comes out.
So break still plays the animation if it misses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I know Doom doesn't.
Doom
play the
will
animation
not.
if it misses. And I think Tybalt did equip Phantom, which is the real and therefore reliable calmness protection.
It's definitely one of the ways to get around it. For sure.
Though with using Phantom as calmness protection, you want to count damage on sleep, right? Because he'll punch until he's ready.
Yeah, so basically once you get rest or sleep below 10,000 HP, he'll start casting Meteo. And if you have the Vanish status, any spell will hit automatically. So normally if you have Phantom and then somebody with, say, an Atma weapon offering or Sword Tech 7, you can count the damage, and then if the next Sword Tech 7 or Atma swings would kill, then you Phantom and then you go for it.
That double Ultima would be a good way to bypass that 10,000 HP threshold, right?
Unfortunately, X Magic, in between X Magic casts,
He can counter.
He can counter, yeah. So
no, got it.
Quick, if he had access to quick turns would let him get around that potentially, but that is not on the table, unfortunately. LunarChimera also does not have the skip, or if they do, they're clearing up the middle first, and then they're going to warp out and then do the wings.
This isn't. He only put
we
3
do have
people
quick,
here.
but
he does have quick, but he's gonna think to cast it.
Yeah, it might be an MP thing at this point.
Yeah,
because I don't see Osmos anywhere. Oh, the S-Cross coming out. This is rough.
Could you remind me if there's anything really critical on that Sabin?
Oh, if Saban's got something critical, I'm
I don't think so.
unsure.
That's why I was asking. I wasn't sure if he had like an Esper that for calmness protection or any kind of super damage thing.
I think the best thing that's on him right now is Heal Force. He may also be wielding the Phantom Esper. I hope that Mog does not have the Phantom Esper on, because that is going to be a nasty surprise for Tybalt.
He doesn't. I saw him while checking magic. That's how I know he's got it equipped. He was able to try and cast it.
Okay.
I don't know who won.
But not Mog, if you can see it.
Not Mog.
All right. So very, very good. Very quick tier 2. X Magic Ultima puts in a lot of work. And so we are on to tier 3. Here we are just looking at killing the girl first. She has 10,000 HP and absorbs every element. So the big problem is that she casts Pearl Wind to heal both herself and Rest. And if Rest dies before Girl does, then she will revive him with Life 2. Okay, we see Quick Ultima come out. So now during this this first quick turn, he will not counter either of these Ultimas with anything. I'm not sure if he's even capable of doing so, because he's not at that threshold yet. But has to do Ultima Flare here just to manage his MP a little bit.
I think Saban. Oh, here's Meteo.
Yeah, so as long as the shock doesn't kill. Oh, and it does. And good night, Saban. And nice. Terra blocks.
Well, I think Saban's job would have been Phantom.
Maybe,
so it's probably the best worst outcome here.
Oh, yeah. Saban was doing absolutely nothing for Tybalt, so having him go away, I can't imagine that Tybalt feels terribly bad about that. Down comes Kefka. I don't think that Kefka is going to be long for this world.
No, we will not be dancing mad for long.
As long as Tybalt is careful to not get countered by Ultima, then we should be good.
How much HP does Final Kefka have?
62,000. And he's a little bit like Rest in that once he gets below 10,000 HP, he starts doing some nasty stuff. Unlike Rest, the nasty stuff is Ultima.
Well, the party's got a lot of HP, so if this quadruple Ultima from Quick triggers that, Tybalt should be fine, right?
He should survive, yeah. So he is just going to go. There is Ultima. So as long as this Ultima kills, then we should be good
I think
here.
that was Ultima from Kefka.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Terra might actually survive a second Ultima here, which would be kind of wild. But nope, that is it. Crack Pow for Tybalt. And about 1:37:15 is the time that we've got. Very, very nicely done.
Looks like he'll be joining us for an interview momentarily. And here he is. GG's, Tybalt. Congratulations.
GG's. Oh. Let's just say I'm panicking a little bit because I saw that it was Goddess in the center, and I'm like, oh no, I set up my team wrong. Luckily, Locke had Flare.
Yeah. So, what was your plan if, if you didn't have Flare? Like, what were you thinking?
At that point, if I didn't have any good damaging spells on Locke, it would have been a warp out and just set my party up center slot to take out Goddess.
Sure.
I meant to stick Saban in the middle because he had Ultima and I could just move around the hairpin and gem box.
Well, regardless, you had a very nice route through the seed. One thing that I did notice, though, was that you did like a pretty late Doma Dream. Was that just for getting check skip, or did you have like some other kind of plan in mind?
That was mainly looking for a character. And I know generally with Worlds Collide, new characters lead to characters, or if, with me getting Cyan as a, fourth character, and I hadn't gotten one from the Doma Defense, nor getting a character from Zozo, I thought there would be a higher chance of a character being there, as well as I think at the time when I was still thinking of it, before I did another check, I still needed my Espers, so it was kind of a 2-for-1.
Gotcha. How happy were you when you went into Returner's Hideout and found the Illumina?
Oh, I'm
right
like,
off the
okay,
rip.
I'm like, Illumina fixed dice, okay, all right, I'm happy. I can do this.
The fixed dice were so heartbreaking because I don't think a single person could actually use them.
I didn't after basically I got Terra with Shock and I had a M+2 Magic Power +2 Esper from Magitech. I'm like, I don't need anything else.
That's
I have
true.
the red button that's free.
Speaking of Magitech, do you always soul read Magimaster like that?
Yeah. Look, there were some issues early on with my party not staying alive and it only being locked. But I figured at some point early on, sometimes you just need that one strong, swole character to get you through fights to carry everybody else. And that was Locke. I think, like, during the first Dragon, only he was alive. During the next check, only he was alive. I'm like, come on! And I couldn't find sleeping bags for sale.
Yeah. Like, normally, if I can't find sleeping bags, I just buy a bunch of tents, and I'm like, all right, well, we'll just have to eat the time loss here.
I hate tents. They take so long.
I mean,
It's
20
it's like-
potions takes about as long as 10.
Yeah. I'm actually watching LunarChimera stream right now. Apparently, they found sleeping bags, but I do not remember where they were.
Couldn't tell you to save my life.
Katana Soul, I was kind of sad about that. Happy about the Minerva snipe, though. That was nice. I
Yeah,
couldn't remember if it was the pugs or the master pug that you could steal those off of, so I'm like, we'll try.
yeah. The master pug. I'm not even sure what the steal is for that. The drop
I
is
think it's a
the
mega
greatest.
elixir.
Is it a mega? That's actually.
I think it's a mega.
Dang, that's pretty good. I'm gonna have to start doing that. But yeah, it is the pugs formation, which is confusing because there's a singular pug formation that does not give you the Minerva.
Of course.
No, gotta make your life as tough as possible, right?
Yeah, of course. And that was a quick tears for me. Wow.
Yeah, no, you had X Magic and Ultima going, plus Quick, so
Yeah.
nothing really lives that long in the face of that. So
No, I saw that he got quick, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, that makes Final Kefka a lot easier. I always forget about that spell until you see it, like, oh, well, okay then.
yeah. Now, speaking of offering, though, you did not visit the Colosseum this seed, and sure enough, there was offerings there for tonics, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, me and the Colosseum aren't too good of friends. If I have a starting tomorrow, sure, I'm going. But other than that, I've seen a lot of... Yeah, okay, fine. I'll give it with capture. So 2 out of the... whatever.
Yeah. I like
generally, if I don't have Umaro, I don't go to Colosseum. It's just me.
I think that with your Illumina lock, you probably could have cleared basically everything that the Colosseum could have thrown at you. But I don't know. Maybe it would have been worth it for your Mog just to have your Mog be a Dragoon for the entire seed. But
yeah,
I mean,
he did his work there at the end with the X Magic. I got the gem box. I'm like, okay, he's got Ultima, he's got X Magic. Just stick a gold hairpin. Sweet.
Exactly.
I can test it multiple times. It's fine.
Yeah. And unfortunately, LunarChimera looks like they took a wipe at Pulte.
Yeah, Pulte will do that. The Merton on Mog hurt. I'm like, okay, let's re-equip this Paladin Shield. Because even though the number 17, with the Poltergeist flags, you're almost at a higher chance of clearing it when you've got so many checks available to you. Because you can break into Magic Factory for the random encounters there. You've got Narsh. You've got options for those random encounters.
Yeah, and it looks like a LunarChimera has joined us, is going to take the FF. Well, GG's to you. That was a very well-run race.
Thank you.
GG's, Lunar. Heck of a race. I thought I saw you typing when I was typing for done, and my heart was thumping super hard.
Nope, I'm still back at statues.
Yeah, I don't think I was pretty happy with how I ran this. There's a few, minor hiccups here or there, like putting the Merit Award and fixed ice on Terra when I'm just going to use Shock. But other than that, talk about hero rings, 3 of them.
Well, so for Lunar, unfortunately, you did not make the stop, and apparently this seed, the stop, was Returner's Hideout, in which there was an Illumina just hanging out.
That would have been nice. I also heard a Merit Award. That would have been nice too.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say too is that I saw you buying a bunch of fixed ice, but I couldn't remember if you had the Merit Award or not, so...
Nope, and I didn't know that they couldn't be equipped to anybody until I was going through Kefka's Tower, and I was trying to equip them, and nobody could use them.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's that's unfortunate.
And I'm just like, well, okay.
Yeah, at the end there, I was just looking for that 7th character. I just could not find them, and I just had like terrible checks. Leet River, Phoenix Cave.
I think it would have been a lot closer, except I got hung up on trying to get through. I did go through. What was it?
Burning House. No,
No.
not Burning House. You went through.
Magitech. I backdoored my way into Magitech, and then Magitech 3 is Atma, who had a score to settle apparently today, followed by Magimaster that I had no Berserk for, who also just wanted to ruin everything. So that was exciting.
Oh, I had an issue with Atma because the Illumina decided to proc and heal him for 6k.
Ugh.
Yeah, sometimes you just get seeds that are a little rough, and I know especially like having to warp out or having to reset out of Magitech in its entirety. It never feels good, and like the thing is that I think that was the objectively correct play. It's just so heartbreaking when you've got to do it.
Oh
though,
yeah,
you know?
no, I don't think there was a better play because I wasn't getting past Magimaster without Berserk, and I don't remember seeing it on anything. It doesn't mean it wasn't there.
You may have had a path out with Terra with the Minerva and Shock, but it would have taken you a hot minute.
Yeah, and that was an option, but I would could she equip the Minerva?
Terra can
I
always
think she
equip you
could.
with Minerva.
Yeah, naturally
Okay.
she can.
Yeah, Terra and Celeste. In the vanilla game, they are the only two who can naturally equip it.
Right.
I was confused too because I think you had two of them at the time you were there, right? Because you stole one from the pugs, and then you
Right,
found one
I had
in
another
a chest.
I
What
would
did
have
I
liked
give-
the
did I give
second
her-
one.
I'm trying to remember what I gave her instead. Was it the Behemoth suit? Is that what she ended up having?
It was either the Behemoth suit or a Genji armor.
It wasn't Genji armor because I had an extra one at the end.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, probably a Behemoth suit.
I mean, Guardian had it out for me, so I lost my force armor there.
Oh yeah.
Guardian at Phantom Train.
Phantom Train. Okay, I didn't go there. What was the reward on that one? I'm curious.
Bismarck.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bismarck had Merton on it, which was cool. Like I was
Bismarck
considering,
too.
I would have loved, to see you go back in there, Tybalt, and get it. And then I think you got another one with Merton, and then
Yeah.
like I think you never got the gear to actually cast it. So
No, I didn't. I mean, one Minerva. I could have gotten a Flame Shield from Lone Wolf. So that's 2. Paladin Shield's 3. I wouldn't have had a fourth option. I wouldn't have had a fourth one. So.
there was a red jacket in.
Oh
in
yeah,
Phantom
if I would have got I would have the red jacket. So yeah, there was an option there for Merton, but I'm not a huge Merton person.
Oh man,
I would have been
too
this
much
seed.
to keep track of there.
I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna make you a Merton convert.
I would have been all over Merton if I could do it this seed. I found an early economizer, and I got in gem box as one of my rewards, and
You got an eco?
yeah, and I put it on Mog at the end because he finally picked up Ultima via natural magic, and I was like, well, that solves some problems.
I was wondering how you got that Ultima.
I wondered too, and then I looked at what he had, and I'm like, okay, it had to have been natural magic because I know he had natural magic, which means it was just lucky.
It's just dumb luck.
I just had the gold hairpin, so I would have loved an eco.
Well, once again, GG's to you both. I don't think I have anything else for y'all. Scar, do you have anything for our runners?
No, just GG's. Well run to both of you.
Definitely gonna have to watch this one back. I am curious on the comms for this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Gar was great.
Scar was great.
Now we need to go find out who's winning the other race that's going on right now for our group.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I at least relieved some pressure. Let's put it that way.
Hey, I
Or
honestly
applied it,
want it to be,
depending on
I
the
want it to be
perspective.
I honestly want it to be 1-1 so we can see that last match on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that would be a heck of a thing.
Well, I guess we'll start with Tybalt. Do you have any final memes for us here?
No, just a shout outs to the commentary booth. Gar and Scarsfer, thanks for talking over our race. You know, I mean, we may be racing, but you were the other half of the show. Thanks for Joker for restreaming, and I want to say it was Neru doing the tracking with Chrono, if I remember correctly.
We had Chrono in, and there couldn't make it.
Yeah, thanks for the behind the scenes stuff. We may be racing, but you're the other half of the show.
Thank you very much. And then LunarChimera, same to you. Any final memes for us?
I'll start with ditto. Always good to have the comps people. You always do a good job. And then I'm always going to do my Living Seed plug and hope that people come in, check that one out. We got a few new people this week, so you get to change the flags each week, and it keeps it moving. It's a very fun, interesting one to run.
100%. Well, thank you both very much for appearing to be on the restream. We do not have the races without race runners. So, and both of you did a fantastic job. Thank you for putting on a wonderful show for us. Tybalt, once again, congratulations on your first place victory.
Thank you.
All right. And I think with that is going to be the end of our time here tonight. I want to thank all of you at home for watching this fantastic race. Thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting us as always. Big shout outs to Joker Mage for doing the restream. And then, of course, my co-commentator Scarciver, who also has a match tomorrow, and you are not going to want to miss that. That's going to be a phenomenal one to watch.
Okay, and I don't think I have a way to raid, so can you just give everyone the Twitch address so they can go watch the ongoing round 2 between Overstorm and Honeydew?
I would be happy to do that. So twitch.tv/FF6 Worlds Collide. And there we have another race that is currently ongoing between Overswarm and Honeydew. Both of them are also in the Eastern Division, as was LunarChimera and Tybalt. So this could potentially seal up who's going to be in the finals. So definitely go and watch that. Once again, twitch.tv/FF6 Worlds Collide.
And once again, thank you everyone for watching, and hope to see you next time.